I had this really horrible job working in a cabinet shop that I wanted to get out of desperately. So I took just an entry-level job at the newspaper. Within about a year, I became a staff photographer. Really, it was kind of a good learning ground for me. It was where I really learned how to use a camera, and I got a lot of great experiences, meeting a lot of different people. I'm kind of by nature just a more quiet, reserved person, and working for the newspaper really forced me to get out and talk to people. In a way, it was kind of a way for me to use the camera as a shield a little bit.
He started thinking that we should be making portraits together, and I thought that was a really bad idea. He thought we should be taking pictures and doing weddings, and I just really didn't really think that was something that sounded even feasible to me.
Over the years, my time at the newspaper was generally very positive, but there were a few times, different bosses and things like that, where it was not a good experience.
Ultimately, I just think that he had kind of run that. It had run its course, and it was time to do something else.
I became aware that I might be able to make a living doing something else in photography.
Eventually, he talked me into going to a convention in Las Vegas, and I heard some people speak there, and I saw what they were doing, and it wasn't at all what I had imagined, because I was thinking like old school portraiture and weddings, and the things that I saw there were so beautiful. I cried when I saw the images they were making, and so after that we came home and started our business.
I'd say we have, in a lot of respects, a very traditional family, a married couple with 2 kids, a boy and a girl. We're also very non-traditional, and especially how we work.
I have photographer friends, and sometimes maybe we're all shooting a wedding. We'll be in the same, staying at the same house or something. I've had that happen before, like 3 or 4 different photographers. And I found that they're all like that. It's a lifestyle, and it just kind of blends into your everyday life. You might be at home, you might do something for yourself, and then you go and you sit down and you return an email, or you're editing, or it just really is something that is hard to separate from your personal life. When we found this place and we pulled up outside, I told him, go ahead and go in, because I am never, ever, ever moving here. And here I am. So I just had to think about it differently for a minute, and I appreciate that he had a vision for that I didn't have right away. And so sometimes we have to compromise, but that's just like any other marriage. You're always making a compromise.
I often describe it to people as we're the creature with 2 brains, or that we're running a 3-legged race. Sometimes to run a 3-legged race successfully, you have to know your partner well and kind of be in sync with them. And sometimes we can do well in that race, and other times we're kind of fighting each other. Singing is just an essential part of our business.
It's my job to understand who they are and where I should go with them and how far I can push them. They start to trust you. So you might see something that you didn't see right away, but you can follow it, and maybe you end up doing something that is a little bit, that would have made them uncomfortable at the start.
We just like edgy things, I guess, and we're rebellious.
It's rebellious, it's a little bit off, and I think it's just who we are, really.
And how do we come up with that? It's sort of a lifetime of just being that way, and of cultivating our tastes that way, and really putting forth an effort to to study art, to pay attention to things like that, to pay attention to style and to pay attention to detail. The thing that she's really good at is taking bits and pieces from something that's already there and making something different out of it.
They bring their own clothes in. They bring a lot of their own clothes in. As much as they'll bring me. I tell them, don't bring me outfits, just bring me clothes. Shoes, coats, dresses, hats, accessories, everything you have, bring me.
Signe kind of says, put this with this, and then add this, and then put this as a detail and wear it this way.
Yes, no, like that. I don't know what they think.
The clients, 99% of the time are like, I never would have thought of doing that, or I wouldn't have put this with that, or, even though they're from that person's closet.
I think it's a really good system because it's their stuff, so it has this bit of them in it, but maybe I put it together in a way that they would never, ever put it together, and that is partly a style thing, and partly I do it to help them look better.
It's taking something that is already there and just putting a level of detail and polish on it, and also a certain attitude that I think really comes out in the photography.
The thing that I think is really, really challenging aside from that is being creative for a living. Creativity on demand is like, tapping into a well that is not always full. Since we've moved here, I think some really nice things have happened for our business. We've really focused more on art and creativity, and not just in our business, but also personally, kind of trying to live our lives in a way that is artistic and authentic and true to who we are.
I'm allowing myself a lot more freedom now to be different, to be a little bit wilder, a little bit more non-conventional, non-traditional, and I'm going to see where that takes me. And then I have other things that I'm doing. I'm going to start a radio show in a couple weeks, playing music again, trying to get that rolling.
We tend to make passive decisions, so things just kind of happen. We have a general direction, but we're a little bit...
I don't know exactly. Just playing it by ear.
Our work probably is... I'm not sure how it's evolving, actually. But I think it's becoming more true to who we are.